Hi, in this video, I will explain you what is GitHubs and also I will give you a demo on how the GitHubs can be achieved with using GitHub Actions, and also at the end we will publish an example Docker image to AWS ECR. All right, so that is the main motive of this demo. Henceforth, this picture represents my demo where what we do is we build and push a Python app Docker image to AWS ECR using GitHub Action. Okay, here creating a Docker image, building the Docker image, and writing the apps, everything we do at the GitHub, and the GitHub action will build the image. And finally, with using the GitHub action itself, we will push that image into the AWS ECR. Okay. All right. So that is my main aim of this demo. But while we just jump and show you the walk you through the steps of this demo, I will just let you know what is the GitHub, GitHub, GitOps, and some brief information around what is GitHubs. All right. So this is the this is the a blog from AWS which will help you to understand what is GitHubs. I will be sharing this link in my this video's description, and also the relevant file will also be shared in this this video's description. Please find there. All right. So here, what is GitHubs? Okay, this is where the definition tells from. This is the where what AWS tells us about what is when you say what is GitHubs. All right. So here, first one, GitHubs is the word coined by Vivworks COE. So his name is Alexis Richardson. Okay. So GitOps. Okay, GitOps is an operating model for Kubernetes and other cloud native technologies. All right. So it provides a set of best practices that unifies the development, management, and monitoring for clusters and applications. Another way to put it is a path towards developer experience for managing the applications, where end-to-end CI, CD pipelines, and Git workflows are being applied to both operations and development. Okay, in general. Okay, so what I understand by this in the sense, so where operations and developments, when these two big tasks or these two big towers leverages the the benefits of CI/CD, benefits of DevOps. So in that kind of that kind of approach, we will call it as a GitOps. If I can scroll down and I will show you a diagram. Okay, so that diagram really helped me. This helped me to understand what is GitOps. All right. So here earlier, we used to build the infrastructure with using DevOps method. All right. But now, once the infrastructure is up and ready, fine, then we need to we need to manage the applications workloads on it. So that also will be covered with using the DevOps methodology. So if we combine these two, development and the operations, then the thing which comes out of it is called as a GitOps. All right, so where this is the left side, this is the development environment where developers will be do with they use the IDE, they build it, they test it, the cycles, this is the cycle keeps on running. And the other side of the operations where the operations will deploy the workloads, they monitor the workloads, they operate and manage the workloads. All right, so all these jobs can also be done in a way of CI/CD. So that kind of unified development, monitoring and management way of working, we call it as a GitOps. All right, hope you that I know I believe that you have just started and just you understand what is GitOps. Okay, all right. So in this demo, so let's now we will focus more on the hands-on experience of so-called GitOps. All right, so this is where I have for this demo what I did is I have set up my Visual Studio Code setup, and also I have a GitHub repo. I have a GitHub repo. This is my GitHub repo. In that GitHub repo, I have set all the the GitHub action definitions and application folders. Everything is ready, and in my GitHub repo, I have the two branches. So let me show you my two branches. One is the main branch, which you can call it as a master branch. Future branch, that is I will call it as a development branch. One branch I use it as a development. Once I'm good with the development, I merge that branch with the main branch, and from the main branch I will just release to the production. Okay, that is how the strategy, simple strategy for this demo I have been using for this demo, and also I have used the same strategy for my previous videos as well. All right, so that is where this demo starts in. Okay, so here the prerequisite, you need to have the AWS account, you need to have the GitHub repo, and you need to have the Visual Studio Code, or you can use any IDE, whichever you are comfortable. So in that one, you need to have this branching strategy being done. All right, so then you are you are good to start and experience this this GitOps. All right. So here, so before I will walk you through this one and I will show you the demo, I will just walk you to the, I will take you to the my AWS account. So this is my AWS account here. For this demo, what I do is I create a GitHub repo. All right, I create an ECR repository, that is AWS ECR repository. Okay, so this is the component which we are creating using manual, but in infrastructure as a code technology, we can create it with using Terraform or whatever technology we want to create. For this demo, since this is the a kind of infrastructure which sits in the AWS side, I will create for now only through the manual. Whereas the rest job we will do it via GitHub Actions and all right. So now I go here and we create an example ECR by giving this name. All right, I go to the I'm here. So this is my AWS account. I'm here and this is Amazon ECR. This is repository. What I do is I create a repository quickly with using the same name. I have previously tested it before I give this demo. That's the reason it's showing the name. All right, here I'll just enable the scan on push, in the sense somebody pushing the images. So this is a private repository, in the sense you are paying the AWS to get a place or to get a storage where you can store the images. Okay, so these are the Docker images. Docker images help us to deploy an application in the Kubernetes workload. Okay, so this is the previous part before you go and deploy an application to AWS EKS cluster. Okay, this is just just a first part of GitOps, whereas the second part is you can use this repositories images to deploy on AWS EKS. All right, so right just now, and this is this all. Okay, this much is enough. We just click on create to finish up the creation of our private repository under Amazon ECR. So this is my Amazon ECR repository, and here we will push our application customized image. I can say it as a customized Docker image. We will push it here with using GitOps methodology. All right, so this is a prerequisite. All right, next one. I do also have a GitHub account. This is my GitHub account. If I go to the GitHub account, so under that GitHub account, I have many repositories. But for this demo, I'm using something called. I have one repository. Let me go to the repositories again. So this is repository list. So I'm using Azure IAC GitHub.io. Anyways, that you can forget about the names. And this repository has two branches, as I explained. One is the main, and another one is the feature branch. Feature branch is something which I have cloned here in my IDE. This is Visual Studio Code IDE, and I'm currently in a feature branch one. All right. So from here we will start our demo. All right. So even though I understand this was a big introduction, but yes, this is needed so that you will understand everything from the scratch and very clearly. All right. Now all these setups I will explain one after the one, and then finally we will show you the demo of creating the image and pushing the image with using GitHub Actions. First, okay, this is the first. Let's explain the folder structure of this repository. So if I expand this, so you see right there is a .github /workflows. Okay, this is a common folder under GitHub now, which will act as a definition. This is the place where you can put a GitHub Actions definitions. Okay, this one I think I have explained in more detail in my previous videos. Please go through those videos, and I'll try to understand what is GitHub, GitHub repo, GitHub Actions, GitHub secrets, all right, etc around GitHubs. Okay, if you want to explore something around GitHub, please do watch my previous videos. And after that, we have created an app folder. So app folder is something like this is where our app related files, configurations, binaries, etc will be put in. Okay, that's the reason we created a separate folder called app. In the sense, this is where our app files and folders will be sitting. All right. So under this app, let me walk through from here. We have one Docker file. As you might be knowing, Docker file is just it's a plain file without any extension. You just have to create a notepad. So let me show you that how you can create. All right. So let me open the notepad. So this is how to create a Docker file. Okay, all right. So this is how you can create a Docker file. Meantime, so while it is taking a time, in general, okay. So how do you create is you just open a notepad. Okay, let me open it again so that you can just understand. Okay, I'll just open the Notepad++. So here is my Notepad++. I will just show you how the Docker file will be created, so that you understand how the Docker file will be created when you are actually doing some operations. So in that case this will really help you. So that's the main motive here. What you do is you just take a a simple plain Notepad++. All right. And here these are the definitions you put in. So whatever the definition, this is very, very basic definition which I'm just putting here. And this is only meant for demo purpose, whereas for the production purpose, probably the content would change. All right. So here, let's say that I'm just copying these the contents present in this file. All right. So here we put it something like this, and you need to save this file without using any extension, but just Docker. All right. So we will save this file under Kubernetes service, for example, and we call it as, we have to give the name called Docker file, and without an extension. Okay. All right. So this is how Docker file looks in. If we go to the Kubernetes services environment, if I go to the Kubernetes service environment, right, we see Docker file, right? So Docker file. So this is how Docker file looks in. All right. So if you put this Docker file, and if you go to the properties, and it should not be without any extension. You see, right, it's directly without any extension. All right. So this is the file with the name Docker file, and without an extension we call it as a Docker file. I believe that I made a point here. Okay. All right. So now we will quickly walk through the content of this Docker file. So here we are using only two commands. One is the from, and other one is the copy. From is nothing but from is a keyword in Docker file, where we will give a reference of repository from where you can pull that particular image. Here I'm just using something something unicorn, unicorn, something, one example repo, example image file, image reference, which I have taken from the internet. All right. So this is the place where you put from where your basic image has to be put down, pulled from. Okay. And after that we are using the run in the next command called copy. Copy is nothing but what it actually does. This just copies the content present in this repository, and in that in this while building this image. All right. So that is what copy word does all about. And this is very basic Docker file definitions. All right. So after that we have, since it's a Python web app, I have used main.python file. So this is just a fast API kind of application, where we are using the fast API, and we are importing the fast API, the CAPS fast API, and we are taking a kind of app object from this fast API, and we are leveraging that particular app here. Okay, if I go to here, so we are just building a basic Python app here. All right, so that is what I mean. So we are just building just an example app. But in real production case, probably we might have, for example, this is a Python app. In your case, it can be a J2EE, ASP, or whatever it is, or okay, whatever the new version, new technology app could be. Alright, so this is where you put in all your app related informations, or app related configuration files, or source file, you can say. And after that we have one readme.md file. So the readme.md file does not have readme.md file, as you know that it's just it's just an information or informative file where you can put in whatever the contents present on this repo. So all the definitions will be given in the readme.md file. And after that we go to the next one. So I forgot to tell one more file, that is the requirement. So requirement.txt file is a file where we can put in the basic requirement which are needed to run this, to build this Docker image. So that's where we keep another file called requirement.txt file, where we specify a type of prerequisites which we need. So here we need fast API kind of modules. So that's the reason we have kept this information here. All right, so that is how the folder structure has been organized in this demo. What you have to do is, I will keep all these files in a separate shared repo. You can just download the files. You can just download the folder present there, and just put it across some in your freshly created GitHub repo, and you can use the same. If you are trying to do a hands-on. And after that we have a git to ignore. So this is just this is a file which will tell the GitHub to ignore certain extensions, certain folder file, folder structure, etc., etc. Okay, that is, you can just ignore it. So this is just a license kind of thing, which is a license file, which I have just taken from the internet. Since I have taken from the internet, I have just kept it as it is. So that's the reason you can keep this file as it is. All right. Then again we have the readme.md file. I think you can, this is the same explanation which is been given here. Okay, so readme.md file, I think this is not required. I will just delete this. We have to keep either of the one. Okay, just keep one or this one. So I just delete this. I don't require. Anyways, the readme.md file has to be out of the all your folders. That's the reason this is the standard. Okay, you need to keep the readme.md file outside, okay, underneath the root structure of the your repo. All right, so these are the files and folder structures which are been sitting in my GitHub repo. So this is my GitHub repo. Now we will go and explore main important part of, okay, this is the bread and butter of this demo, I can say. This is the place I just wanted to you to understand very clearly, because this contains everything. Okay, this is where we define GitOps related configurations. Okay. All right, so here as I explained, so this is my GitHub Actions definition, and this is the place where I define what it has to do, what GitHub Action has to do to achieve a GitOps operations. Okay, it has to pack the your source code. It has to pull the image, build the Docker image with using that source code. Then once the image is built, it has to publish that image into the AWS ECR. So all that definitions has been defined in this file. So let me take a time and I will explain you very detailed here. Okay, and after this we will see the demo. So here, I'm just, this is nothing but GitOps, this is a GitOps way of, working, where we define everything what we need. Okay, what are the tasks we need to achieve in the GitOps? Everything will be defined in this GitHub Actions definition file. And that's the reason this file has been kept under .github//workflow folder of the GitHub repo. And after that, let me start from the starting. So here, we are using the on keyword. So in the sense, what is on does? On does, whenever you do certain task on a GitHub repository. So this is the place where GitHub Actions checks, and based on that criteria, it will do the rest jobs. Or based on the definitions being defined here, GitHub Actions will be invoked. GitHub Action will invoke the respective task being defined here. So this is like a conditions to run the below criterias. So here we are doing on push, in the sense whenever we do a push into these branches. So here on push to this branches, okay, on push to my main branch or my future branch, it has to start the GitHub action, or it has to start to run the GitHub actions. Okay, so that's what it means. And after that, and that's all. So this is where invocation definition, you can say. And after that, we define all our tasks it has to do, whatever the GitHub action has to be do, right? So we have listed very couple of we have listed the required tasks to be run by GitHub Actions. Okay, all right. The first one is, this is the title. Okay, this is the title of my GitHub action, you can say. Wherever you see, right, the name. So name is nothing but what is the name of my GitHub action. So here I have given it build and pushed to AWS ECR. All right. So this is my name. And after that, we are defining certain environmental variables. So that's the reason the keyword is here is environment : and after that, you see that there are the these are the keywords. Okay, you have to put these in this same format only. One is AWS underscore default reason, default output, account ID, account key, secret, and the container image. Okay, so here default reason I have given US East region in AWS. You can take it the whatever you like to choose, and the output format is JSON being chosen. Whereas the other part, right? So these are all the secrets. So to do the secrets, what I did is I used my GitHub repo secret storage, and henceforth I'm just referencing to that secret. Okay, so that's the reason. Let's say if you are keeping your account ID, key ID, secret ID in the GitHub repository secrets. So this is how you need to reference it in this file to use those details here in this file. So that's the reason it starts with the dollar and double flower bracket and secret dot. This is the name of the secret. Okay, let me show you those. So I have kept the account ID, key ID, and the secret ID. So let me go to that. So where do you find that? You need to go to the settings of your repository. So this is my repository. So you need to go to the settings of your repository. Then there's a place called secret. So this is where we keep our secrets. All right, so these are my secrets been kept, and these are the things which I am referencing here, and this is the syntax that you need to follow to reference. All right, to know more about how to set up these secrets in the GitHub repo, please do watch my previous videos where I have explained. I have shown you everything around these. All right, so in the WhatsApp time, let's move ahead. Okay, and we'll see here. So here container image. So container image. Okay, so I'm just keeping the name Very dynamic here. That's the reason, that's the reason what I did is I just gave, here the name of my image is fast API hyphen example. Okay. And this is a dynamic name. You see that github.sh. So this is a dynamic variable which I'm pulling from the GitHub and making this name, unique across the run. So that's the reason, this is the container name, container image name being generated dynamically. And this variable will be used down. All right. So we'll go to the next one. So this is the place where, jobs. Okay. So this is the place where actual jobs of our GitHub actions being defined here. One is build and push. Okay, so build and push is something like, it's a keyword again. So in the sense, so this is the where I have this is the, my job name, build and push, and under that one I have the multiple sub tasks. All right. So first one is build and deploy. Okay, the name is build and deploy. So we are, run on Ubuntu. So we are making to run this job on Ubuntu latest servers. Okay, and the steps. Okay, the steps it has to follow is all these steps are being defined here. The first one is checkout. This will be, this is just checkouts our master. This will just check out the whatever the file present under this particular, particular branch. So that is what this is just a, syntax that you can keep it as it is. All right. So this is the next one. Okay. So first one is a checkout. The next one we'll go to the next one. We are setting up the Python environments. Okay. With using, it uses the actions and set up the Python version 1 with using the Python version. This is the Python version I'm just installing on this, Ubuntu latest VM, where where the GitHub action is being running. All right, and after that, install dependencies. So here, this is very, very important point you need to note here. So here, for this demo, there are prerequisite, okay, because here I'm using the AWS CLI commands to take the session of my AWS ECR, and after the session is being taken, I will push the image being built here to that AWS ECR. And the prerequisite is here, since I'm using the AWS CLI, the AWS CLI has to be installed in your this GitHub action machine, that is Ubuntu latest machine. So that's the reason this becomes a dependency. So whenever this GitHub action runs, it will make sure that these are the dependencies are being installed in the system. So that's the reason. First one, we are installing the Python 3.7, and we are also installing the fast API, because this is application specific. All right. So application specific module, that is fast API of Python, which is also being installed. And after that, I'm installing the AWS CLI version 2, because I'm consuming the AWS CLI commands that belongs to AWS CLI version 2. So that's the reason I have kept all these commands one after the other. You see, right? First one, it will download the a zip file into that machine and name it as a AWS CLI version.zip. And after that, we are unzipping that particular content, and we are executing that install file. All right. So these are the prerequisite which are kind of dependencies which are being executed before we run to the next commands. All right. The execution. So for your information, the execution always starts from top to bottom. So here first dependency will be executed. Then we are executing the next commands, which I will explain now. The next one is we are setting up the ECR environment. In the sense, we have to log into the AWS CLI. All right. So since we have given our AWS credentials as an environmental variable, by default, AWS CLI session will be achieved. All right. Once the AWS session with using AWS CLI commands is being achieved, then we can log into our AWS CLI, AWS ECR. Okay. Sorry. So next one is we run the command. So this is how. So next one, this is the setup ECR stage. Okay. So here, we are running this command to set up to access my AWS ECR. And this is the command which does that. Okay. The command here is AWS ECR get login and the reason. Okay. So this is US East region. Okay. For your information, if I can step back. Okay. So all right. So this is the repository which is sitting in US East one. All right. So that's the reason. That's the reason. Reason is US East, and we are using the pipeline. And after that, Docker image. In the sense, we are making the Docker to log in to that, to get the session of the AWS ECR, so that it can push the image to that private ECR repository. And you see the username by default name, that is AWS. Password is standard in the sense standard input password will be used. And this is my complete dynamic FQDN of my AWS ECR. Okay, so if I show you that ID how it looks, you can see it from here. All right, so this is how it looks. At runtime, this is our account name. This is the reason, and this is my repository name. All right, so this URI is dynamically built here. All right, so once this command is runs, it automatically takes the session of AWS ECR, and it will start to do the next jobs. Okay, now here we are logged into AWS ECR. In the sense, Docker has logged in into AWS ECR. Now it has to, what it has to do, Docker has to build the image. Okay, so this is the stage called build and tag the image. Here what we are doing, we are building the our Docker image, nothing but our app image, app Docker image, by running this command docker build forward slash t is nothing but tag. So we are tagging this image with using this name. If I go above, all right, you see the name is fast API example colon, this is the dynamic string which gets appended to that, and this is where tags comes in, and this is where, okay, this is where t in the sense, this is the place it has to refer to build the image. All right, so it has to use forward slash app. In the sense, it has to go here and run this Docker file, then automatically our app related image will be built by Docker image. So that is what it means. In the sense, this is a dot operator, from where Docker image has to build in. All right. So again, you said, so this is nothing but our ECR image reference. Okay, this is our ECR URI reference. So this is the place where we are building the image. Now let's go to the next one. So this one is specially for pushing the image. So now here image is built. Now we have to push that image dynamically into our AWS ECR. So how do we do it? So here, I have used the condition called if the git reference is equal to main. In the sense, if the push is happening on my main branch, then only you push it, or else do not push the image. Why we have added this restriction is, main is nothing but my master branch from where I need to deploy to my production environment. Whereas the future branch one is, this is my development branch. My image is still in a development stage. Probably it's not confirmed. So that's the reason I don't want to push it. So this is a kind of custom criteria where you need to put in, where you need to can utilize it to make your image pushed on demand. So here my demand is, whenever there is a main branch push happens, that's the reason the image has to be put in. All right, so then this is the command. Okay, this is the command which helps and built Docker image to move to AWS ECR. The command is docker push, and you are just, all right, you are just giving the reference. Okay, so the image which is being built here will be referenced here, and the endpoint where it need to push it, this is the endpoint. All right, so these are the, this is the just a generic quick walkthrough. I believe that I have completely given from the scratch to end information that you need to put in at GitHub Actions definition, so that you are achieving the GitOps operations here. All right, so we have done this successfully. We have just done the code walkthrough. Now let's see the hands-on demo. All right, the first one, I made some changes to this repo. All right, if I show here, so this is our change now. What we do is we push this change to our future branch one, that is development branch. We'll tell it as a push to ECR. So this is my generic message that I'm giving to commit these changes. All right, so this is I'm committing this change. Okay, anyways, there should be something needed. That's the reason you can push something to your upstream branch. Okay, this is my local branch. Upstream branch is something here. Okay, something which is sitting in the GitHub repo. So if we go down, this is our code, and you see, so if I switch the future branch one, so this is my upstream branch. Now we are in the downstream branch, you can call it as. All right, now to synchronize the changes whatever done in this downstream branch, I will just synchronize that. So this will eventually, what it does, it will invoke this operation. Why? Because we are making a push to our future branch one. All right, now we will see our GitHub action build push ECR, build and push to ECR will be invoked here. Let's see that. Okay, if so, you see, right, the future branch had been pushed less than a minute ago. That's where the message is coming here, because the push has successfully happened. Now you see, right, so this is our GitHub actions. You see all workflows. Under that one, we are using the build and push ECR. This is my name of my GitHub action, and now it is currently being built. I will just walk you through this build definitions and build logs, so that you will get a complete understanding of our GitOps. All right, you see, so whatever the steps being defined here, all are being executed here from the top to bottom. Okay, that's what I mean when I said it executes from top to bottom. Okay, from the setup job to it is executing down. All right, it was very quick. It has successfully executed. It has taken only 23 seconds or less than that. You see setup job. Okay, if I go to the setup job, all right, so setup job, where is our setup job? So here it is. So check out setup Python. All right, then setup ECR. All right, so these are from here, from here it started to executed completely till to the down. First one, this is a primary, this is this is a primary task, that is which sets up the job, in the sense that this build machine, this GitHub action build machine will automatically set up the job. It will check out the code which needs to be executed in this GitHub action. You see, right, these are the checkout been happening here. You can you can explore these logs on your own, but I will just make you sure that this is how it works. And after that we are running the setup Python. Okay, this is where our execution started. So this is where after checkout, so this is we defined checkout, that checkout happened, then setup Python. All right, then install dependencies. So likewise the start tasks executes one after the other. So here we are setting up the Python. All right, the Python is successful, then we are installing the dependency. Okay, this is very huge, because we are installing so many things here. One is we have installed the fast API module of Python, then we are installing the latest AWS CLI versions. Okay, that is bit long one. If I can scroll down too much, it's too big. If I can scroll down very high. So here you go, right? You see, you can now run, in the sense the AWS versions here. Nothing but I'm just installing the latest AWS CLI versions in this GitHub Actions GitHub Action machines. That's about the dependency. Now let's go to the setup ECR. So this is the place where the GitHub Action machine connects to our AWS CLI, AWS ECR, with using AWS CLI commands, and which is taking action. So which is taking the login session. This is our Docker is taking the login session to this. Okay, this is the command which will help the Docker to take the login to the AWS ECR. So that is where setup ECR step is doing. Next one is build and tag the image. Okay, this is where Docker is doing its job. It is building the image and it is also tagging the image. All right, so what is the image? Image is nothing but our application image, which is being built on an example image which we referenced in the Docker file. All right, the first step, you see that there are two steps. The first step was executed till here, right? You see, they downloaded the new image. So this is the image I was referencing in that Docker file. You see, right? It's very it's very difficult to pronounce, but this was the image being referenced, and this is where the first step is completed. Next one, we are copying the app, whatever the file present under the app folder of our repository, that is been copied now into this file, into this image. Okay, finally the image is built here. So this is the image ID, and it has been successfully tagged. So you see, right, the name, right? So the name is very dynamic. It includes very huge ID appended to that to make it image very unique. That's the reason we do a tagging. All right, so now after that we are doing here. You see, right, here you need to make a note here. Push didn't happen. Why? Because the still operation, this still image is under development stage. Okay, that's the reason it has executed till only build. But push only happen if we make a merge to, or if we make some pushes to the main branch. Now we will see that how we can do that. Okay, so this is what my main aim behind speculating our main behind tagging the push operation only to main branch. Why? Because once we are sure that image is been built in the right way, then only we can push it. Okay, then this kind of evaluation can be done on the development environment or development branch. And once we merge to the master branch, then from there you can push the image to the AWS ECR. All right, so to do that, the push operation, what we have to do is we have to create a pull request against the main branch and do I do a merger. All right, so what I do is I will create a pull request against my main branch. You see, right, this is my main branch, and the it's happening from feature branch to main branch pull request. And you see, this is the pull request definitions. Now, all right, so we'll create a pull request. Now, now what I do is, now the pull request is created. If I go to the GitHub Actions, there is nothing is happening, because this GitHub action gets invoked only during the push operation on either of the branch. Now I have to go to this pull request and I have to merge this so that code gets merged to our main branch and which will eventually invoke our GitHub action. So let's go to the GitHub action and see. All right, here it is. All right, so it has successfully started now, and we will have a parallel watch on these jobs. It would be very quick, but you see that the install dependency is getting executed now. And if we go down, so once this install dependency gets completed, it will execute the next commands. All right, so setup ECR is done. Image building is in progress. Again, image is getting built here. Okay, you need to make a note that the image which has been built on the development, it has not been pushed. Okay, so that image is now lost. We are using the fresh image. In the sense, the definition of the content of the image is same, but it has been built in with a new version. You can think it like that. All right, now it is actually doing a push operation. Okay, if we go here, earlier there were no images, right? You see there are no images. Now it is the push operation is happening. Once the push gets completed, then only we should see the image here. Okay, that is the main motive of this demo. Let's wait for some more time. It's being pushed. It's taking some time because the size of the image is bit big. It will be in MBs, and that's the reason it takes some certain times. All right. So I think push is successfully done. You see, right? The push has been completed successfully. All right. So our GitHub action went successfully. Went green and very successful now. Now we have to see the image is been pushed here. All right. So here is our image. All right. So this is the image is been successfully been pushed from the GitHub actions into this AWS CLI. Into this AWS ECR, okay, and from here our the Kubernetes workload can reference and pull this image and create a new version of your application successfully. All right, so this is where I have successfully shown you the complete operations which we targeted here. Okay, so let me recap the things which I explained here. All right, so here what we did is we have a repository. We have a GitHub repository. In that GitHub repository, we created the GitHub action workflows. We also created the our app definitions. We created our application source code folder structure. We created a Docker file and we defined the how our image has to be there. All right, and also we had a certain files under the under our repository, which includes license, readme dot and requirement.txt, and all these things were there in our GitHub repo. Once and then my GitHub repo had two branches. One is the main branch, feature branch. Another one is the main branch. Whenever I did a push to the main branch, feature branch, it has built the image, and that was just a demo. Okay, but that didn't push anything to our AWS ECR. To push the image to AWS ECR, what I did is I made a pull request against my main branch from my feature branch, and then I merged that changes into the main branch. Then automatically our GitHub actions, which I had defined, got invoked. Finally, it dynamically has built a new image version, and it has successfully pushed that image into AWS ECR. All right, so that's all. Okay, that's all. Here, what we did, we built the image dynamically of our custom, Python app, and pushed that Docker image into AWS ECR. Okay, here, we are also developing the application. Okay, you have the doubt saying like, where did we did the application development? So this is since this was our GitHub repo. Here, the developers will be doing their application development, and also we have defined how our image has to be looked. That is kind of infrastructure side. Development and infrastructure side. Okay, both tasks are being now merged on a same GitHub repository, and that's where we are clubbing development and operations together, and we are pushing our application image into the AWS ECR in a single click or in a single workflow, and that's what we call it as a GitOps. All right, so I have successfully shown you the things to be shown here, and I believe that I have made a point here so that you understand what is the GitOps. All right. So with that note, thank you very much for watching my videos. Kind request, please do subscribe my channel. That would really encourage me a lot. Okay. So with that note, thank you. Thanks a lot.